Greetings, welcome to this video on Terraform Variables. So first off, let's try to understand what are variables. In its simplest form, a variable is like a container that stores a piece of information. Right now, in terms of Terraform variables allow us to provide custom input values for our Terraform configuration. This enables reusability and flexibility in our Terraform code. These are the different types of variables that Terraform supports. The three on the left are the type keywords, whereas the five on the right are the type constructors. Let's take a look at each one of them. So the first one here is the Terraform string variable. So you can see here you have a variable block, then a label for the variable block. So this variable block is called the region. Then you have a description that's optional, you have a type that's optional, but over here you have the type set to a string. And then you have a default value set for that region string variable. Next up, let's take a look at the number variable. So here you have the type set to a number, then a Boolean variable. Remember, the value of a Boolean can be true or false. And a list variable. Here, the additional concept is that along with the type of the variable itself, you can define the type of the individual elements of the list. So here in parentheses, we have string. So this subnet underscore ID's list variable is going to be a list of strings. Just another note on the list variable here, I don't have a slide for a set, but a set is basically a collection of unique values that does not have any secondary identifiers or ordering. Okay, now maps. Maps are key value pairs. As you can see, that you have keys on the left hand side of the equal to sign, and on the right side you have the value. Next up are objects. Objects are a collection of named attributes. Then tuples. Tuples are an ordered collection of items of specific type. So far we've seen how to declare the variables themselves, but now we'll take a look at what are the different ways of declaring the values for the variables. Now these are the different ways in which you can define the values, and they are in the order of decreasing precedence. So what that means is, if you declare a variable from the command line and you declare a value for this same variable through an environment variable, the command line will take precedence over the environment variable. Okay, we're going to look at two last features that variables offers. So first one is custom validation. So in custom validation, you can set parameters for your variable to be acceptable. For example, all image IDs must begin with AMI and a hyphen. So here in our condition, we've set the validation rule to only accept image ID values that are greater than 4 characters in length and that begin with AMI and a hyphen. If you declare a variable value incorrectly, then it throws the error message. Then the last feature that we're going to look at is the sensitive variable flag. So if you set the sensitive variable flag, Terraform suppresses the value of the output. So what this means is, if you have, say, a password that you're using from an environment variable value and you don't want to see it in your Terraform output, you can set it as sensitive equal to true. Note that you should still never ever commit sensitive values to public repositories. Okay, let's take a look at demo to make this all more clear. Here we have Terraform code for a Google Compute instance. And now the name of the instance has been defined in our code as terraform-demo-instance. And we want to parameterize this as a variable. So the first step is to define a variable. So we define a variable named instance underscore name. So we're going to set the type of this variable to be a string. Next, we can give it a description, name of the compute instance, and then we can give it a default value. So we can call this my TF instance. So it stands for my Terraform instance. Now, after saving this, you have declared the variable. Now in your resource, you need to point to that variable. So the way you do that is you use the keyword var dot and then the name of your variable block, which is instance underscore name. And then we can save it. Now we've set the default value to be my dash tf dash instance. So if we go ahead and clear the output and run Terraform plan, we should see the name of the instance that would be created to be my -tf instance as declared in our variable block. Okay, so say you are running this Terraform script and you want to change the name of the VM. So say you want to call it my instance 1. So the way you can do that is you can run a command line argument with a dash var flag and then the name of the variable, which is instance underscore name, and then the value. So we want, let's say we call it my instance 1. Now, since command line instance arguments take precedence over the default values, you will see here that the name is my instance 1. While it's easy to provide an argument for one instance variable from the command line, if you have multiple variables, for example, the instance name, machine type, which is often used in production, it's easier to use a file with all the values of the variables and then use that file as reference. So the way we can do that is we can create a file called terraform.tfvars, and here we can declare the values for the variables that we've declared in variables.tf. So if I say my GCP compute instance, now terraform.tfvars, if named exactly like so, gets automatically loaded into the Terraform variables. So you don't need to refer to the var file specifically. So you can run if you can just run Terraform plan, this instance variable value will be directly taken up by Terraform. So you can see here it says name my GCP compute instance. The advantage of doing this is you can have multiple files with variable values for multiple environments. For example, I can have a production.tfvars file in which I can have instance name set to tf prod instance 1. Now, if I want to refer to this particular file for the values for my variables, I can do that by running terraform plan dash var file equal to production.tfvars. Now you can see here the name of the variable is tf-prod-instance-1 since it's taken the instance variable value from my production.tfvars file. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next one.